Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about another book that I'm reading, which is the sixth book of the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, called The City of Heavenly Fire. As always, I'm going to be using my Storygraph account because it is easier, although I realized that you can actually see my post on Fable as well, but I spam a lot there, so these are like my real thoughts here on the Storygraph account. Also, I read this prior. I've read this when it came out. I think it was like 2015 or 14 around that time. I started reading this the 1st of April, and I was reading another Cassandra Clare book at the time, which is the Magnus Bane Chronicles, because I'm rereading the series in order to read the other books, the new series, the one with the Last Hours, and there is another book, I think The Red Scrolls. I want to read those series, and in order to read them and remember exactly how we got here, I felt it was a good idea to do a reread. And honestly, Cassandra is one of my favorite authors despite her many flaws. It started good. I was liking it so far, but there were so many things that I didn't remember about this book. Mostly the stuff about Emma and the Others, which is the Lady McKnight series. I don't remember exactly the name, which I have not read because I tried to read them and I was not invested in the characters or the story as a whole. But if I'm being honest, I think I didn't give this book the time it deserved when I read it before, the first time I read it, and I must have skipped so many pages that I thought were not relevant, which is probably the reason why I didn't remember anything about Emma and Julian and Ty and all the other kids from the Los Angeles Institute. I took a break from reading it on the 12th of April and then picked it back up again on October 10. Literally, I have here in my Storygraph notes, don't remember how we got here, but I'm not rereading all of that. Around the 46%, I was getting tired of how many chapters there were, how long the chapters were as well. Unlike other books, these chapters have like 10 scenes. And as someone, like, truthfully, this book is long as fuck. Who has the time to read that? I don't have the time to read books that are over 400 pages because I'm a functioning adult that contributes to society and I have limited time, which really sucks because I have so many hobbies. This actually being one of them, not reading, recording, and editing videos. It helps having that creative outlet, even though I'm not that creative with my videos, at least on this channel. And also, on this reread is when I realized Jem was cured by Jace's fire. Like, I skipped those chapters and I honestly didn't make the connection. I really thought they have found a cure for Jem. Once I was reaching the half of the book is when things really started to pick up. The plot moved quite well. Like, I think, here's the thing. It kind of moved fast. There was a lot of happening each chapter. But since this book is almost 700 pages long, it does take a while. Like, even though there's something happening each chapter, like, there's a lot. There's a lot happening on this book. I love finally seeing more of the fairies and the queen, the fair folk, because I know the next book we're gonna have even more to do with them. And oh, also, I must say, this is spoiler filled, so if you have not read this book, skip it. I don't even know what you're doing here, to be honest. But yeah, I know Simon becomes human eventually, and then a Shadowhunter, which I do plan to read the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. I also have that one. I am a collector at heart. Like, if I'm interested in a series, I started to get all the books, which is the reason why I have two books of Kristen White, even though I have not read And I Darken. I have the two books, the And I Darken and Now I Rise, and I still was not able to I have not been able to read those books because I don't know, I was not interested in them. Like, I thought I was going to be, and then I started reading them, and yeah, back to Cassandra. I really love seeing more of Emma and the boys, but around 55% I was getting tired again because there's just so much information. But we did get another character, which is Malcolm, and he's very fun. I loved him, really loved him. Even more than Magnus, even more than, what is the other one? Oh, Ragnar. Oh my god, I miss Ragnar so much. Ragnar and Raphael are my favorite pair of this series. But yeah, one of the things that I really have to give Cassandra is how she created this entire world that is so interconnected. Like, we get even more lore and backstory on Magnus Bane, the Bane Chronicles, even more backstory on the Shadowhunters, Tales of Shadowhunters Academy, even more backstory and lore from the Clockwork Princess, and oh my god, the Clockwork Devices, I think was the name of that series. Like, every book you read is worth it because you get additional information. You could read this entire series without reading the other ones, but if you read them, it just adds so much to the experience. in my opinion. I was literally one of the, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it, but another Fable reader also commented that, yeah, Cassandra Clare creates these amazing worlds. And I'm up to 60% now from this book. But I still have 500, 300 pages left, and I'm struggling. I am struggling. Okay, almost, I think it's about 10% left of the book, and I'm having such a great time. The only fault that this book has is that it's very long. Or not very long, but longer than I am normally accustomed to reading. It's taking me a lot longer to finish, which really bothers me because I get dopamine hits when I finish books, and it's been a while. It's been more than a week since I finished a book. I posted on Fable about it around the 25% mark. I posted that I had 15% left, which was a mistake. As much as I dislike how long it is, everything is worth it, and as to the plot. Sadly, this won't be a 5-star just because of the length, but it's a really good book, and Cassandra knocked it out. I enjoyed seeing her writing progress and develop during the years. There was so much I didn't remember happening in this book. It's truly an amazing experience, and I'm glad I decided to reread the series. Then, I corrected myself and said I lied. It was actually 25%, not 15, but the rest still stands. I absolutely adore theology and Cassandra's interpretation. I'm enjoying the ride so far, but I want to finish this book because I'm behind on my reading goal, which is 12 books a year, and so far I have read 7. Plus, I will do a video review, which is this one, of the book, and I want to get it over with because I edited the first half already. The video will probably be up by November or the end of October because I have 2 other reviews scheduled before that one. So, based on my calculations, it should be up by actually Friday the 31st. It's amazing that we got a Halloween on Friday this year. That is so good. But yeah, I am having such a fun time reading this book. I've been enjoying the ride so far. Every scene is worth it because it adds to the plot despite how long it is. We got multiple scenes of Emma and Julian, which before I was actually not interested in them at all. When I tried to read their books, I just was mentally not there. One thing that I'm really mad about is Raphael. Also, full warning, this is going to be filled with spoilers. If you have not read the book, I recommend you read it before, but I'm also guessing you are not here if you haven't read the book before. But this was Cassandra's idea. She killed Raphael, and they just gloss over that like, yeah, now he's dead. Simon lost his tire, and no, like, give me closure. I literally have on my story graph that I am saddened to see him go. Very sad that they took out Raphael. Very mad about that, to be honest. But I only have 1 chapter left, and then the epilogue, and I will update when I finish the book. One thing I do have to mention is that I am not getting as annoyed by the characters as other books. To be honest, I feel the characters in this book made the choices that they had to make. Like, I didn't question none of their choices because it made sense. Oh God, I don't know how to explain that. But yeah, well, finally, I finished the book. This is my review. You can read it. I debated a lot whether it should be a 5-star or a 4.75-star book because, listen, the length is the bad thing about this book. It was so long. Each chapter took about 20 to 50 pages. That is too much for me as someone who gets, the dopamine and the serotonin when I finish books. Like, it took me weeks, even months, to actually finish this book. But it was so fun, and every scene, I understand, had a purpose. Yes, every scene added something. Even if you thought it was filler, it was not. It was adding something to the book, very different from the previous ones. In the other books, a lot of the times I felt she was just writing a scene because she wanted to play out something she saw in her head, and it was not necessary. On this book, it really did feel necessary because in every scene you got just a little more information, a hint, a clue, a backstory of a character. Even seeing them interact added something to the plot, so I did enjoy that. I was surprised to realize there was so much Emma and Julian scene. I was not expecting that because as someone who tried to read the other books and was not able to get vested in them, I feel this one's really helped. Yeah, Cassandra's style of writing is so interesting because it felt like I was watching a movie play out. After every scene, it felt like it was cutting and this scene. You were seeing that play out, and then it cut to the other scene and you saw that play out. So it was actually really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. The start was really cozy. I literally have it in my notes that it made me feel like I was watching a Christmas movie. There were so many good quotes, and I really did like the ending. Oh my God. Like, the last 15% was the best of the entire book. And maybe that's the reason why I'm so biased, because the start was maybe not the strongest, but the end, that epilogue, Wow, that epilogue was 40 pages long on my iPad, but I enjoyed it so much. And although I knew, spoiler alert, that Simon was gonna come back as a shadow hunter, I was still in my feels. Like I could not imagine losing somebody like my best friend and not losing them, just them not remembering. Like, oh, it saddens me a bit, but overall it was an amazing experience. I have to do my Fable review, but I really did enjoy it. Also, the characters were funny. They were so funny. They come up with the funniest lines. Really enjoyed that they don't take each other too seriously and they're very secure of themselves. Yeah, overall I do really recommend this, but it's gonna probably, yeah, like if you read the series, this one you're gonna love it. I feel like maybe I'm in the minority, I don't know, but I really did. This was one of the strongest books, in my opinion, of the entire series. So yeah, that's it. Bye.